Have you ever felt like your past mistakes are a shadow, looming over your every step? Imagine carrying a heavy backpack, each mistake a stone adding weight. It's exhausting, isn't it? In a world where perfection is often glorified, it's easy to get trapped in a cycle of guilt and regret. But what if I told you that your past doesn't have to be a life sentence? What if your greatest setbacks could become your most empowering stories? I'm here to share a message of hope and transformation, a journey from self-doubt to self-acceptance, from pain to strength. Together, we'll explore how reconnecting with your faith and embracing forgiveness can open a new chapter in your life. A chapter where you are not defined by your past, but by the courage to move forward. And who am I to guide you on this journey? I am a spiritual leader, a guide in the quest for inner peace and understanding. My experience with faith and healing has shown me that every soul has the potential for redemption and growth. So let's embark on this journey together and discover how you can break free from the chains of your past and step into a future filled with hope and new possibilities. Section 2 is on understanding the burden of the past. Imagine for a moment a path littered with debris from your past. Each piece a mistake, a regret, a moment you wish you could change. It's a path many of us walk on where the echoes of our past actions seem to follow us no matter how far we go. But how do we turn our pain into strength? It starts with acceptance. Accepting that the pain is part of our story, but not its entirety. It involves learning from our experiences, understanding that every challenge carries a lesson. And importantly, it requires us to forgive ourselves, to acknowledge that while we cannot change the past, we can shape our future. You see, I'm not just about what we did. It's about how we internalize these events. We often judge ourselves more harshly than we would judge others. We replay these moments wishing for a different outcome, trapped in a cycle of what-ifs in life. Here's the truth we often overlook. Our past mistakes are not just obstacles. They're teachers. They hold lessons about resilience, forgiveness, and the human spirit's capacity to change. Every person has stumbled. Every heart has faltered. It's a universal experience, part of our journey in this life. So as we reflect on these past mistakes, let's start shifting our perspective. Instead of viewing them as permanent stains on our character, let's see them as stepping stones towards a deeper understanding of ourselves and our potential for growth. In the coming moments, we'll explore how to lighten this load, not by erasing our past, but by learning to accept it, learn from it, and ultimately forgive ourselves. This is the first step in a journey towards inner peace and true self-acceptance. Station 3, the role of faith and the divine in healing. In our journey of self-discovery and healing, there's a powerful ally often waiting in the wings, yet so central to our lives, our faith. Whether you embrace a particular religion or a more personal sense of spirituality, faith can be a beacon of light in the darkest of times. I'll think of faith as a compass in the stormy sea, guiding us back to our true path when we lose our way. It offers us a different lens through which to view our mistakes, not as defining faults, but as steps in our spiritual journey. In the eyes of the divine, every stumble is an opportunity for growth, every fall a chance to rise stronger. But how does faith help us heal from our past? It begins with the understanding that we are more than our mistakes. We are seen, known, and loved by a higher power, a power that understands the deepest parts of our soul, parts we might not even understand ourselves. Faith teaches us about forgiveness, not just as a divine attribute, but as a path we're invited to walk on. It shows us that forgiveness is not a sign of weakness, but of strength. It's an act of releasing not just the other, but ourselves from the chains of bitterness and resentment. As we embrace our faith, we open ourselves to divine assistance. We start to see our past not as a burden, but as a testament to our resilience. We realize that the divine has been with us all along, turning our trials into triumphs, our pain into pearls of wisdom. In this next part of our journey, let's explore how reconnecting with our faith can bring about transformational healing. It's not just about moving beyond our past, but about rediscovering our true selves, radiant, whole, and embraced by the divine. Station 4, the journey from pain to strength. Life in its unpredictable ebb and flow often brings us to crossroads where pain and strength intersect. These moments, as challenging as they may be, are not just obstacles on our path. They are gateways to profound personal transformation. Think back to a time when you faced a significant challenge, something that tested your limits. It might have been a result of a past mistake or a circumstance beyond your control. At that moment, it may have felt like the world was crumbling under your feet. But here you are, still standing, still moving forward. This resilience, the ability to rise after a fall, is a testament to the human spirit's incredible strength. It's born from our deepest pain, nurtured through our struggles and realized in our triumphs. Our pain is not just a reminder of our fallibility. It's a teacher showing us how to be wiser, kinder, and more compassionate And this journey from pain to strength, we often discover aspects of ourselves we never knew existed. We find courage we didn't know we had. We learn that our capacity to endure and overcome is far greater than we ever imagined. But how do we turn our pain into strength? It starts with acceptance, accepting that the pain is part of our story, but not its entirety. It involves learning from our experiences, understanding that every challenge carries a lesson. And importantly, it requires us to forgive ourselves, to acknowledge that while we cannot change the past, we can shape our future. In embracing our past pain, we empower ourselves to write a new narrative, a narrative where each scar is a mark of learning, each tear a symbol of growth. We begin to see our past not as a series of failures, but as stepping stones on the path to becoming our truest, most authentic selves. So as we continue this journey, let us remember that the strength we seek is already within us. It has been forged through our trials and tears, waiting to be acknowledged and embraced. And recognizing this strength, we open the door to a future where we are no longer defined by our past, but by the wisdom and resilience we've gained along the way. They'll see you live, the importance of flow in life. Let's consider a powerful metaphor that nature presents to us. The difference between a stagnant pond and a flowing river. A stagnant pond, still and unmoving, often becomes a breeding ground for algae and bacteria, its water turning murky and lifeless. In contrast, a flowing river is dynamic, constantly moving, renewing itself, and nurturing life along its banks. This metaphor reflects a profound truth about our own lives. When we let the water of our existence become stagnant, holding on to past regrets and pains, we deny ourselves the freshness of new experiences and growth. Just like stagnant water, our spirits can become clouded and lifeless. Now think of yourself as a river. Your life's journey is its course. A river flows around obstacles, finds new paths, and is ever-changing yet constant. It teaches us the importance of movement and adaptability. To flow like a river is to embrace change, to accept the ebbs and flows of life, and to move forward with resilience and grace. Our body, composed of about 85 water, resonates with this metaphor. The way we speak to ourselves, the thoughts we nurture affect us deeply, just like how water responds to its environment. When we are harsh on ourselves, when we boil in anger or steam with low self-esteem, we disrupt our internal balance. Remember, water responds to positive and negative stimuli. When we speak to ourselves with kindness, understanding, and forgiveness, we can change the very patterns of our being. Our words and thoughts have power, much like how water crystals respond to positive and negative messages. So, as we journey through the process of forgiving ourselves and moving beyond our past, let's strive to be like the river. Let's keep our waters flowing with positive thoughts, with self-compassion, and with the understanding that movement, that emotional, spiritual, and mental, is essential to our well-being and growth. Embrace the flow of life with all its turns and tides. In doing so, we not only free ourselves from the stagnation of the past, but also open ourselves to a future of clarity, purpose, and renewed vitality. Action 6, embracing self-forgiveness. In our journey of healing and growth, there comes a pivotal moment, the moment we choose to forgive ourselves. It's a profound act, one that can transform our entire perspective on life. Self-forgiveness is not about forgetting our past or excusing our mistakes. It's about acknowledging our human fallibility and understanding that our worth is not defined by our missteps. It's a recognition that we are all works in progress, constantly learning and evolving. But why is self-forgiveness so challenging? Often, it's because we are our own harshest critics. We hold ourselves to standards we wouldn't impose on others. We replay our errors, berating ourselves for not knowing better, for not being better. This cycle of self-criticism can be debilitating, trapping us in a state of perpetual regret. Here lies the importance of self-forgiveness. It's a release, letting go of the self-imposed burden that hinders our growth. When we forgive ourselves, we acknowledge our humanity, our capacity to err, and to learn from our errors. Self-forgiveness is also a powerful act of self-love. It's giving ourselves the same compassion and understanding we offer to others. It's a recognition that everyone deserves a second chance, including ourselves. As we learn to forgive ourselves, we also learn to embrace our imperfections. We understand that our mistakes are not the entirety of our story. They are chapters in a larger narrative, one filled with learning, growth, and resilience. Embracing self-forgiveness opens the door to a new way of being. It allows us to move forward with greater wisdom and empathy, both for ourselves and for others. It paves the way for a more authentic, more compassionate life. Well, as we continue on this path, let's remind ourselves of the power of self-forgiveness. Let's acknowledge our past, learn from it, and then let it go. And in doing so, we free ourselves to write a new story, one where we are not bound by our past, but empowered by our journey of forgiveness and growth. Action step. In the present, is this one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves? Is the ability to live in the present moment. The past, with all its mistakes and regrets, is behind us. The future, with its uncertainties and possibilities, lies ahead. But it is in the present where we truly live, where we have the power to shape our lives. Living in the present means acknowledging our past, but not allowing it to dictate our current actions or future aspirations. It's about recognizing that each new day brings a fresh start, an opportunity to be who we want to be, to live how we want to live. But how do we anchor ourselves in the now? It starts with mindfulness, like the practice of being fully aware and engaged in the present moment. It's about savoring the here and now, not as a means of escaping our past, but as a way of truly experiencing life. Mindfulness also means being conscious of our thoughts and emotions without being overwhelmed by them. It's about observing them, understanding them, and then letting them pass like clouds in the sky. This awareness helps us break free from the chains of past regrets and future anxieties. And living in the present, we also find the strength to move beyond our past. We realize that our past experiences, while a part of us, do not define us. We are not the same people we were yesterday. We are constantly evolving, growing, and learning. Now, this realization brings a sense of liberation. We no longer feel weighed down by our past mistakes. Instead, we feel empowered to take charge of our lives and to make choices that align with our true selves. The present moment also offers us a chance to forge new connections, to engage with the world around us in a more meaningful and authentic way. It invites us to participate fully in the dance of life with all its twists and turns. So, as we continue our journey, let's embrace the present with open arms. Let's cherish each moment, each breath, each step we take. For it is in the present that we truly find ourselves, our purpose, and our path to a brighter, more fulfilling future. Section 8, the power of words and thoughts. In our journey towards healing and self-acceptance, we often overlook a critical aspect that shapes our reality. The power of our words and thoughts, like the water that makes up much of our being. Our inner dialogue and beliefs hold the potential to either nurture or hinder our growth. Consider for a moment how words and thoughts can transform the very essence of water, as shown in studies on water crystallization. Positive words create beautiful, harmonious patterns, while negative words lead to chaotic, disjointed formations. This phenomenon mirrors how our self-talk can construct or disrupt our inner harmony. And when we speak to ourselves with harshness or criticism, we're like boiling water, agitated and unsettled. This internal turmoil can manifest as low self-esteem, anxiety, or a feeling of disconnection. It's as if we're steaming with negative energy, clouding our ability to see our true worth and potential. Inversely, when we choose words of kindness, encouragement, and forgiveness towards ourselves, we create an environment of peace and positivity. This shift in our internal dialogue can have profound effects on our emotional and mental well-being. It's like calming turbulent waters, allowing clarity and serenity to take hold. Our thoughts also play a pivotal role in this process. They are the architects of our perception, shaping how we view ourselves and the world around us. Negative thoughts can trap us in a cycle of self-doubt and despair, while positive thoughts open us to possibilities and hope. It's important to remember that we have the power to control our words and thoughts. We can choose to break the cycle of negative self-talk and replace it with affirmations of our strength, resilience, and worth. Our system of practice is not about ignoring our flaws or past mistakes, but about embracing our complete selves with compassion and understanding. As we move forward, let's be mindful of the words we use and the thoughts we nurture. Let's speak to ourselves as we would to a dear friend with love and respect. By doing so, we not only heal and strengthen our own spirit, but also set a powerful example for others to follow. In the next and final section, we'll conclude our journey with reflections on the path we've traveled and look ahead with renewed hope and determination. As we draw close to the end of our journey together in this video, we find ourselves on the cusp of a new year. New Year's Eve is not just a time for celebration. It's a symbol of renewal, a moment to embrace new beginnings and leave behind the old. Reflecting on our journey, we've explored the depths of self-forgiveness, the importance of living in the present, and the transformative power of our words and thoughts. We've learned that our past, with all its trials and tribulations, is a canvas upon which we've painted our strength, resilience, and growth. As we stand at the threshold of a new year, let's carry with us the lessons we've learned. Let's step into this new year with a mindset of hope and positivity. A mindset that sees every challenge as an opportunity, every setback as a stepping stone to greater heights. This new year is more than just a change in the calendar. It's an invitation to write a new chapter in our lives. A chapter where we embrace each day with gratitude, where we recognize our worth and potential and where we extend compassion not only to others but to ourselves. Let's make a commitment as the clock strikes midnight and fireworks light up the sky to live with intention and purpose. To approach each day with the understanding that we are the authors of our own stories, capable of creating a narrative filled with hope, love, and fulfillment. Remember, you are not defined by your past, but by the choices you make today and the path you choose to walk from this moment on. As you step into the new year, step in with the belief that you are deserving of happiness, capable of overcoming any obstacle, and ready to embrace all the beauty and wonder life has to offer. Thank you for joining me on this journey. May the new year bring you peace, joy, and a heart full of courage to face whatever lies ahead. Embrace your journey, cherish your growth, and remember, every day is a new opportunity to shine. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video motivating, inspiring. If you enjoyed it, please consider hitting the like button or sharing it with someone who might find it helpful.